They was right. The reunion was better than the season finale. Lady Lily back with another video, and this is the Housewives of Potomac season 3 reunion special part 1. So the show opens up and the girls are in hair and makeup. We learned that Karen's father had passed away. He lost his battle to Alzheimer's, and they had just buried him several days prior to taping. It was also mentioned that Karen's mom had passed away 7 months prior. So Karen is really going through, but she said she's coming to slay. The ladies look nice. Overall, as a general group, the ladies look nice. I liked the Robin's short haircut. Altogether, they looked collectively well. I didn't like Ashley's dress. I actually liked the Karen's dress. I did not like Ashley's dress. Just she's a younger woman. I just feel like that she could have done something else. Candace kept playing with her hair, and it was just like, I think he could have did something else with Candace's hair, but Giselle looked it nice. I love Robin's haircut, and yeah, that Monique is cute. Monique is 5 months pregnant. She said that things are moving along quite fastly with her pregnancy. Ashley reached a milestone. She turned 30, and she visited Bhutan, and she ended up having an alcohol cleanse during that time. Robin informed us that Juan will not be in attendance because he is busy coaching a 4th grade boys basketball team that's in a tournament. I guess it's her boys. The basketball team that their boys are on, he is scheduled to coach there. Andy started out saying he was surprised that Karen would laugh at the fact that Ashley, stole her wig and tried to imitate her. And Cameron was saying she really needed a laugh at that moment in life, and, she thoroughly enjoyed it. Andy also told Candace he never heard of Miss United States. And Candace said the pageant world is pretty small, but those who are heavy in the pageant and in the pageant world know what Miss United States is, and she is known everywhere she goes. No matter what airport she hits, anybody, they knows who Candace is. So the show starts off focusing on Monique and her car accident. Monique said that she got a lot of backlash from people. They was very cruel to her. They were saying things like, well, no wonder you had a miscarriage. You was an alcoholic. And then Andy had pointed out how, Ashley was so judgmental during that time. But he said when he go back, and if you look at the episodes, they said in most of the episodes, Ashley had a Corona in her hand. And then Ashley tried to come back and say, well, it's Corona lights. And, if people felt like I was out of order, I would expect for them to call me out like I called Monique out. Ashley now is trying to say that day that her and Monique had them drinks, she actually had to sit in her car for 30 minutes and recollect herself before she was able to go out and, go on to her next destination. Monique said she had a problem with that because that didn't come up during the taping of the show. That comes up weeks later on Andy's Watch What Happens Live. And the point Monique was trying to make was that not everybody watch What Happens Live. So, she was saying that, she tried to put her out bogus when she was just as tore up that day too. Monique said it's not about the fact about her drinking. She just didn't like the fact that her character would be attacked, and she felt like it was, putting, judgment on her character. Andy said he did feel like, Andy asked Robin, did she feel like, did she feel bad for the argument she had with Monique, knowing that what she had went through, and Robin said, no, because she was really feel like she was just being genuine and asking a simple question. But it seems like every time when Robin asks a simple question, that it's always misleading and misconstrued. So, Not for Lazy Moms comes up, and Robin and Giselle said they didn't understand and they found it offensive. So Robin was like, so I'm not a good mom if I don't put essential oils on my, kid. And then, Monique said, well, obviously you don't understand what it is. When you are a mom, you're not lazy. And then Andy busted him out and said, well, did you all go on the website and look up? And all the girls said no. And then Karen was like, see, these women, they would rather sit and criticize instead of asking questions and trying to find out. They would rather criticize and make assumptions versus asking questions and trying to find out the truth. Andy asked Giselle and Monique, could they be friends? And Giselle like, yes, if Monique just own up to what, she's done. And then Monique said, well, Giselle needs to own up to what she has done. So they said, there's a possibility that a friendship can stem from there. The show then shifts to Candace. So Candace said she was frustrated in France that the girl did not, take her, seriously. She was really trying to just explain herself. Candace goes on to tell us that the incident between her and Chris that night was more about him just, taking her purse. He said, and I quote, do not let this show go to your head because you ain't shit. I was taken aback, y'all. I was taken aback from that. And it's just like, wow, that was a low blow. So this is more beyond than just the whole you calling me princess. He pretty much telling you, you ain't shit. Wow. So Candace admits that her and Chris, and the girls was like, well, that would have been grounds to end everything. But Candace is saying that her, Chris are brutally honest and she is still learning and they're gonna, move on with the wedding. They bring up Chris brown pink meat. That was a topic of discussion. And Andy also mentioned, it was a question asked her, how can, what was it? Let me go back. Okay, let me go back. Okay. Also, Andy said, how Candace, does Candace mention color, and is that a defense mechanism? And she was saying no. Then, Candace and Ashley started going back and forth into an argument. Candace said, girl, good night. Ashley said, it's daytime. And then Candace said, I told you, she said, you're weary. Good night, Ashley's like I said, the sun is up, so I'm going to stay woke. Petting. Andy asks how Chris feels about living in a house that her mom's pay for. And at first Candace said, oh, my mom don't pay for the house. She said, yes, she did. And she goes to say it's an investment home and that Chris does pay a portion of the mortgage. Andy also asks, how much of the business do Chris own? Candy said that's a personal question and she does not wish to share that. Ashley's saying, well, me and Michael, do our business at this or that, and pretty much, Candace said, well, we just make a decision not to put all our business out there. Hello? Kudos to Candace. Candace don't mind going toe-to-toe with Ashley. Giselle ends up asking Candace, do she has a relationship with Chris' ex-wife? And she said she really doesn't. And Giselle recommend that they at least come together, be respectful and cordial for the sake of the kids. And then Candace agreed, and she said that is something that she is working on. Andy, one of the reviewers thinks it's crazy that Candace is going to have over 250 guests for her wedding. Candace said this chick need more friends. I done been to plenty poor people weddings that had 300 or more guests. So to have over 250 guests, I mean, That's normal for for regular people. That got nothing to do with a reality TV star or a celebrity. There's poor people that done had 300 so plus people at a wedding. So to have 200 people, 250 people, girl, that ain't nothing. I already said I know I'm gonna probably be at 300 people because my family's big. Let alone if we start counting sorority sisters and friends and associates, and then we gotta take the man side into consideration. Hell, we gonna easily have a good 300 people. Could have a good 300 people in the house. So I don't know what that chick talk about. And then Andy goes and asks Candace, was all the ladies invited? She said almost everyone. Giselle mentioned she has not been invited. Ashley is invited, and Ashley has RSVP. And then Candace said, her and Ashley has a love-hate relationship, but overall they do get along. And, she said she loved Ashley like a sister. So the show moves on to the topic of Robin. Andy asked Robin how things between her and Juan, and she said they are continuing to spend time together and focus on the family. Andy threw some more shade saying, you've been saying this for years now. And then Robin says that they're actually just getting to a place of comfort financially. So now they can really focus on other things and building other parts of the relationship now that the finances are somewhat settled. Andy tries to buzz Karen bubble about the whole Siri thing again. And he said, a reviewer said they tried the same thing with Siri, and Siri told the correct thing. Karen said she was actually willing to split her time. She was going to split her time in half, and she was going to support both she was going to support Robin and Monique, but Robin kept making it seem like that she had to choose. Robin said that she felt that Monique event was not special to Monique because it was not Monique's planned event. What they did, they had Monique speaking. It was an organization that had Monique speaking to an event, whereas she built her own. This was a program that she created, built, and cultivated. So Monique was like, I don't care, the event was special to me. I was involved, and but Andy was trying to correct it to say, it wasn't a big deal event, because it wasn't an event that she put together. And Monique was like, well, hell, clean it up. Monique pretty much said Robin is Giselle puppet. And I do believe that, Robin claims up and down that it's not the case. But we all know that Giselle put a battery in Robin's back from time to time in terms of, doing stuff and going to ambush people. So they get on the subject of Monique's fan page, and we come to find out that Monique's brother actually runs the fan page. And Andy was even telling Monique, that, don't you think that was kind of offensive? He said, I could see if this was a fan page and you didn't know the person who was running the fan page, but this is a fan page that's actually ran by your own brother. And he said, you should have told him that was not cool and to, take that post down. We move on to Karen. Andy asked how much is Ray debt, and Karen, like in Karen fashion, told him, you can ask Ray when he comes out here. She said that they're making payments and it is in their rear view. And they're working on paying off debt. Karen said she had a hands-off approach to his business. Should she found out more about it, she should have been in, she had a hands-off approach to Ray's business. She should have asked more questions? Absolutely. Could she done things differently to be in the loop? Yes, but she said she did not. So, Andy asked Robin why she didn't believe him, and what it was that it wasn't necessarily Robin who didn't believe him. She ended up telling Juan what was going on, and Juan was the dictator about not believing Karen. And Robin said her mind started rushing, and she was trying to figure out if she was being manipulated. Girl, don't nobody want to lie about no damn money issues. Who would you think want to lie and manipulate about being in some money crisis? Nobody. Nobody want to come up with that. Hell, don't nobody really want to come clean if they lost everything to be broke. Girl, bye. So anyway, Karen went on to say she felt like a lot of the girls were celebrating, the issues around Ray, because she felt like they really was more attacking her versus celebrating her. But on the other end, the girls said they kind of felt left out. Karen says she was dealing with two sick parents, which is true. It's not easy to take care of sick, elderly sick parents. So she was dealing with that on top of Ray's issues, on top of living her life, on top, Raven's off to college. They still got to be somewhat concerned about Raven. And she said she just felt like she didn't have the time nor the energy to explain herself. Karen said she was just trying to survive. And I really believe that, she was shooting in the midst of all this too. So she had to, keep a straight face. Giselle was just trying to, and she said she just felt like Giselle was trying to be messy. Karen said all the girls knew her parents were sick. They knew that she was being pulled in different directions with them. But yet they choose to focus on all the bull crap around Ray. She says she has two parents that are dead and gone. And Karen went into a breakdown. So Karen walks off the stage. She said, I need to pray. I can't take it. Karen is crying. And you can just see the ladies' faces, all expressions just change. Candace is, crying a little bit. She's emotional. So Giselle goes off and, goes talk to her. Apparently, Karen had just buried her dad that Thursday. And they had actually did that, the taping was scheduled for that Tuesday. So Karen is fresh off this funeral. She is fresh off, burying her dad. So the emotions in her is pretty raw. So Giselle goes after Karen. She goes in her dressing room. So Karen's makeup team and Giselle is there to console her. She said she was, a strong woman, about the strongest woman she know. And Karen said, I'm tired of being strong. She said she lost her dad and her mom within a 7-month time frame. She lost both her parents. She said she just need to pray. And it's just too soon. It's just too soon. And she haven't collected all her thoughts together. And, it takes time to grieve. It really takes time to grieve. So, they just, the makeup artist, Giselle goes back, like she's heading back to the stage. And the makeup artists are continuing to sue her. So we know that Karen is going to come back out because, and the show ends there. This is the end of part 1. So we know they're going to come back, that she's going to come back because they show the previews for part 2 in which they're bringing the husbands and the boyfriends and fiancés out. So that will be next week, and Karen and Ray is going to go in with Michael. Michael get teary eyes for some reason, but yeah, that was an interesting start to part 1. So that is it. That is all. I do apologize for this video being late. As I explained last week, I had an event Sunday night. It was my chapter summer party fundraiser. We didn't get, the party wasn't over to 10. By the time I got home, I was kind of tired from the weekend. I went to see Beyonce. I hope to do a video and I review on the Jay-Z Beyonce on the Run tour part 2. So I plan to talk about that in another video, but it was just too much going on and I had to get ready for work and I was tired. So that's why you're late getting this. So sorry about that. Next week, hopefully everything will be up and ready to go in a timely manner. So I appreciate you viewing. So like, comment, subscribe, stay tuned for more videos. Have a good evening.